It was a dark and stormy night when Emily and Daniel found themselves stranded in the middle of nowhere. Their car had broken down on a desolate road, surrounded by dense woods. The rain poured heavily, drenching them to the bone as they sought shelter. In the distance, they spotted a flickering light, a beacon of hope amidst the eerie darkness. As they approached, they discovered an old, dilapidated house. It stood alone, its windows shattered, and its walls covered in thick layers of cobwebs. A sense of foreboding washed over them, but with no other options, they decided to venture inside. The creaking front door revealed a grand entrance hall, once adorned with elegant furnishings. Now, it lay barren, the floor covered in a thick layer of dust. The air was heavy, suffused with a stale, musty smell that made breathing difficult. Emily and Daniel cautiously explored the house, each step echoing through the empty rooms. As they entered the living room, they noticed a painting hanging crookedly on the wall. It depicted a somber-looking family, their eyes following the couple's every move. Uneasiness gnawed at their insides, but they pressed on. In the kitchen, they found rusted pots and pans, evidence of a forgotten time. The remnants of a meal still lingered on the table, as if the inhabitants had vanished mid-dinner. Descending into the basement, they discovered a grim secret. The walls were lined with shelves, each adorned with glass jars. Inside, preserved hearts floated in murky liquid, their veins visible as they pulsated faintly. Fear clenched their hearts, urging them to escape this unholy abode. But curiosity got the better of them. Upstairs, they entered a room shrouded in darkness. As they flicked on the light switch, they were met with a sight that froze their blood. Stretched across the walls were hundreds of photographs, each capturing a terrified face, eyes wide with horror. Emily's heart pounded in her chest as she recognized the faces. They were their own, captured in various moments of their lives. Panic consumed them, and they ran through the house, desperate to escape its clutches. In their frantic rush, they stumbled upon a locked door. The key, tucked away in a dusty drawer, fit perfectly into the lock. With trembling hands, they opened the door, revealing a room that defied all rationality. It was a replica of the house they had just fled. Every detail was painstakingly recreated, down to the smallest imperfections. The walls were lined with photographs, their own terrified expressions mocking them. The uncanny resemblance sent shivers down their spines. As they turned to leave, the door behind them slammed shut, sealing them inside the twisted replica. Panic consumed their minds as they realized they were trapped in an endless cycle of horror, forever trapped in a house that fed on their fear. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Their screams echoed through the house, unheard by the outside world. Sanity slipped away, replaced by a soul-crushing terror that would never cease. The house stood as a grim testament to their fate, a haunting reminder of the horrors that lurked within. It would forever remain an empty shell, its walls holding the tortured souls of those who dared enter its cursed confines. And so, the house stood, a beacon in the night, its flickering light luring unsuspecting victims to their doom. And those who stumbled upon its threshold would forever be lost in its twisted corridors, trapped in a nightmare from which there was no escape. For the empty house hungered for souls, and it would continue its endless cycle of horror until the end of time.